There is nothing humiliating than when you're being called an adult and you have yourself some problems. You have not gotten yourself in order. You have a problem with your cash. You do not have it. You have no savings and you're confused. And at the same time, you're panicking. Why are you panicking? Because well, we are human beings, and of course, we have to compare ourselves with our peers. And then when you look your peers who are at your age mate or your age group or age sets or however you guys call it from your country, you feel like you're being left behind. You feel like, hey, guess what? You see, there is that issue or there is that moment that usually comes in, especially in people who are at that particular age. They usually press that what you call the panic button. If you are a man, you realize your fellow men are actually buying properties. They are building, others own cars, they have their families, they have their wives in order, they have their children in order. But there you are, you not only have savings, you do not have any investments, you are panicking, you don't even have families and something of sort. Now, this is the video for you. So what exactly can I dare promise you what you'll get if you watch this video to the end? Honestly speaking, I will give you real example, no issue of sugarcoating or anything else. I'm gonna explain to you, and this is how I want you to do it. Now, the issue is this. This is how we say it. When you are young, or when you start investing when you are young, guess what happens? You can actually save less. Why? Because you're gonna leverage on the aspect of time. Okay, for example, if you started saving, let's say at when do we start accessing money? Let's say at age 21. All right, if let's say you decided to start saving when you're at 21 years and you are saving as low as just 150 Kenyan shillings, just 150 Kenyan shillings, let's say per week. Okay, probably by the time you clock your 35 years where you are right now, that is 14 years ago, you'll be having your good money out there. But hey, come on, who was there to tell you at age 21 you're supposed to be saving? I mean, was it not the time to throw parties, you know, testing whether you are a beautiful lady or you are a masculine man or something of sort? Now, the point is this: when you are young, you leverage on time. You can actually save less and be able to accumulate more because you have the aspect of time. Okay, and now when you are old, things becomes vice versa. Two options here. Now when you are old, and allow me to I'm not really saying that when you're 35 you're old. I'm literally saying you are old compared to 21. Okay, so when you are old or when you do not have time in terms of your age, then you ought to save more. You have to save more. All right, because why? You do not have time. Why? You have less time. Okay, let's say these two individuals, by the age of, let's say, 45 years, the two individuals, who and who? The 21 individual, the 21 years individual, and 35 years individual. They are aiming to get, let's say, a million bob in what area by the time they are hitting 45. So the 21 one has 24 years to do so, has 25 years to do so, and the 35 years old has only 10 years to do so. Okay, now the point is this: so if you were to save, obviously the one who is at 35 years, you expected to save more in that short period of time to do that. And what does it mean to save more? To save more simply here means what? It means that you have to really incorporate three things. And I know you hate these three things. Okay, but let me just tell you, you have to have them. You have to have what we call the sacrifice. You have to have the sacrifice. Guess what? You have to downgrade your lifestyle. You have to do away with those outings. You have to do away with those night outs, eating those outings and all those kind of things. Because why? You enjoyed your time when you were 21. The problem that people do is this: you are 35, you've messed up your lives, you are not having your savings in order, you are panicking and all those kind of things. And at the same time, you don't want to shake off the influence of 24 or 21 years old. Why? Because you still want to make yourself happy. There's time comes when we say this is the time. We have to make or break it. All right, now, so you have to have sacrifice. And I know I've already lost like two of you. I've stopped watching the video because when I say sacrifice, I don't like sacrificing. I don't. No. You have to. Okay, now the second one is that you have to do what? You have to be disciplined. Okay, you have to be disciplined. So when I say you have to be disciplined, you have to be disciplined, sacrificing. All right, and the third one, you have to be what? You have to be consistent. Consistency. So consistency must be in your life. So if you incorporate these three things, you can be able to push that dream at that particular point. Okay, so now what exactly do I mean? So if you young, you leverage on time. When you are old, you leverage on what? On that specific thing. Now let me give you a very simple example here to explain to you what I mean. There was a time I was shared an information by an old person. That guy gave me an idea. He told me, hey, guess what, Joseph, We are a group of men, and that guy used to be a bit older than me, by the way, more than 12 years. And he told me, hey, guess what, Joseph? I'm looking forward into making a group of guys who will be contributing at least 5,000 at the end of the month, and by, let's say, a next period of time, we can be able to buy ourselves a piece of property, and we can be able to invest. Because hey, if I decide to do it by myself, well, I can do it, but again, if we do it a lot with a large number of people, we shorten the period. And guess what he said? And I told him, by the way, I had the capacity to do that, but I told him, I look forward into that. I just give me some time, I think about it. I do this and do this. I told him, hey, give me 3 days, I'll talk to you. And then after 3 days, the guy came and told me, hey, Joseph, what did you decide? I told him, I'm still looking forward into that and whatever. Before the guy went, you know what he told me? Hey, guess what, Joseph? Let's say you make 10,000, okay? That thing still rings in my head up to date. You know what he told me? Hey, guess what, Joseph? Let's say you make 10,000, okay? And out of the 10,000, you do not have a wife, you do not have a kid, you have less responsibilities. So it means you have the capability of even saving 8K. 8K. Okay, that's hypothetical, but let's use this example for hypothetically, so that you understand. So you have the capability of actually investing 8,000 and survive on 2K. Why? You have less responsibilities. A time will come, and this is what I want you to understand. A time will come when you'll be using 8K out of your 10,000 and be able to set aside only 2K. The message didn't ring in me, didn't. But as time went by, I came to realize the idea of this guy. Right now, you have the capability of saving 8,000 and survive on 2,000. A time will come when you'll be using the 8,000 and only set aside 2K. You look for us, you look for the opportunities like this one. Obviously, you will get, but the period of time that will take you to accumulate the amount of money that I'm talking about, you would name it. And guess what? At that particular point, I said, this is the deal, and I pick it. That's how you do it. So the point is this: at all the time, understand, when you are at 35, there's nothing talking about. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm not going to try to massage your ego. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to hold the bull by its horn. Right now, if you do not have the savings, if you are confused and you're actually pressing the panic button, this is what you're supposed to do. First of all, switch from believing that people around you are actually looking at you. You know, there is something called the spotlight, the sort of a thing or a theory or something of sort. Have you ever heard of that thing called like a spotlight sort of a thing? Whenever let's say you are in town and you have a toe shoes, you feel like everybody, or you think like everybody is actually noticing that you have a toe shoe. Okay, then you're like, I think these guys are actually noticing. I think this guy can actually know. I think these guys can actually know. I had this coat yesterday. I think these guys can actually see. That's called spotlight sort of a feeling or something. You can check it out there. Okay, so the point is this: cease from thinking that people care about what you're doing and start doing things by yourself. What does it mean? If you realize that house that you're living right now is actually way above your weight, and maybe you've shown, like a lot of guys, you've tried to explain to them that you make money and you can only do so by spending, then this is the time to migrate from from that place that you are to a different location. This is the high time to make sure that you do not fit in. Do not. This is where the problem, do not fit in. If there is something I hate with my whole life, it's to fit in. Whenever I realize that my friends usually go out each and every Saturday to drink and do this and that, and they have to do that, that one actually gets me time and use my money. And I cannot be able to do that because my vision, my mission, my target does not resonate with that. So I would rather switch it off and move. You get what I'm saying? So the point is this: do not fit in. When you're this age and you realize you have not made it, do not fit in, because fitting in has its own price. Fitting in, it means, hey, you have those guys who usually call you on the weekend, hey, let's go drink. Okay, and then you're like, okay, I'm trying to change my life, and then this guy calls you. So because you don't want to lose them, because they assume or presumably they are important guys to you, then you fit in. So there is that price. Number two, do not think that you can be able to get the life that you see. For example, let's say you have two individuals here. Okay, when I talk about this, I usually feel very, very bad. Let's say there is person A and here there is person B. Okay, person A, okay, is you who is that 5 years. That 5 years you have no savings. You have what you are. You are the one who I'm describing right now. Person B, another that 5 years, who is not suffering from this. Why? They have the savings in order. They are not confused and they are not panicking. Why? Because everything is okay to them. So you yourself is that you still want to live a life like of this one. Your life and theirs is not the same. Why? You do not know why a guy can go into that whatever the place and get that tequila shot worth maybe like 10k per shot. You do not know why they are doing exactly that. Now you are actually breaking your arm and what do we say, the arm and leg, whatever, to actually purchase that thing because you want to create the perception that you're also, just by the default of us being age mate, I'm also doing better than you. No, you don't do that. For example, you can have some friends who have cars. You have the money to purchase the car. You can purchase the car, but the priorities do not matter. Let's say this guy works in a corporate. He needs to drive. Car is a necessity. At that particular point, the guy purchases a car to go do their things. Now there you are, because your friend has a car. You go withdraw your couple of millions Kenyan shillings that you have in your bank to buy the car, so that the next time you meet, when he sways his keys, you're also swaying your key. No, that's not the point. The point is we have something called the independent assortment. That is, I borrow that name from the biology, independent assortment. Even if we are twins, each and every one has its own biology. The same case applies when it comes to what? Well, the same case applies when it comes to finance. You have to understand that it's something called independent assortment. We all have different priorities. Let's say you are my brother and we come from a home whereby we do not have we have not built any home, and it's all of us usually think like it's good if we can contribute and build our home. But the point is this: your issues and my issues are different. We may be earning the same amount of money, but we are faced by different things. The way you view home is not the way I view home. That's the reality, and that's for a fact. So the moment you realize at this particular age, cease from all those commonalities that you have to fit in, you have to be common, you have to do to enjoy the life that the ones who actually did something for their life, they're also enjoying. You also want to. No, it doesn't work that way. Seize it and forget about it. If you do exactly that, you gonna see the reason why you're panicking. Actually, if I was to treat these three names independently, number one, why you're panicking? Why are you panicking? Because you are comparing yourself. You are comparing yourself, okay, with others. And if you're not comparing yourself with us and the others, you're comparing yourself with the past. And then you realize you're actually doing way worse than what you were doing before. Therefore, it means character ought to be changed. That's for a fact. That's why you're panicking. That's how you can switch it. Stop panicking. You're panicking also because you realize that, hey, your fellow that 5 years old has bought a car, you have not. You don't even have money close to buying a car. Why? Because you may argue from the point of the guy that 5 years was lucky. It's true. You have not gotten your luck yet. Okay? By the way, it does not mean that because you have not buy your car, you are an idiot. No, it does not mean so. You might be more hardworking than him. These are the parameters of the success. Don't let anybody confuse you. See, you might find this guy is actually even working way less than you. Okay? Maybe let's say both of you came from a poor background. But the guy is not even working more as hard as you. But the guy is lucky than you are. But the fact remains is, ask yourself, okay, are you hardworking? Are you working hard as much as enough? Or you are hardly working? So you have to ask yourself those two questions. So if you're working as hard as you can, combining it with working smart, I've always told you that working hard is not a paramount to success. If you're working hard, you're leveraging, you are having some little thing that you can be able to tap here or on there, you're not being ignorant, you're not fitting in, therefore it simply means then these two guys are blessed at different times. That's for sure. Because nobody can ultimately tell you this is the right button to press so that you become successful. Nobody knows that. This is an ultimate secret that nobody knows and understands. Because if you do, if today you know that you're gonna make your first million at 50, you're probably gonna fold your hands, you're gonna sleep, you're gonna switch off. That's for a fact. So nobody can promise you and tell you this is the ultimate button to press when it comes to success. The only thing we advise people to do is to make sure that you work hard as much as you can, sacrifice where it is possible, accumulate as much as you can, invest, try different things. In the process of trying different things, you might press that what works for you. That is what we can do. That's what we say, controlling the controllables. There are things that are out of our hands that we cannot control. Therefore, that is what exactly that you're supposed to do. Now, the point is this. Now, if you go to the other one, why are you confused? You are confused because you are taking a lot of things at the same time. You're thinking of this business, you're thinking of this, you're thinking of the other. You're thinking of migrating from where you are, you're thinking of the other, you're thinking of the other. You're not picking one thing, concentrate on it. I always tell you, when you're at 20 to 30, make sure that at least you try more things as much as you can. From that to 40, follow somebody who knows something, learn from them. That's for a fact. The problem is this: at 20 to 30, you did nothing. You never learned, you never tried, you never did nothing, okay? Now you're trying to incorporate the character of trying the many things which you ought to be tried when you're at your 20s and you're at your 30s. So you are confused because time is not on your side and you have to try many things as you can. All right. And the reason why you have no savings, you are financially illiterate. Two things: either you're financially illiterate, you are spendthrift, or number two, you are making way less or you're making nothing. Those are facts. So understand why you don't have the savings. Are you making way less, or are you actually doing what? Spendthrift, or are you actually going there? You are financially illiterate. So when you understand those things, and therefore you'll be able to actually tailor down that what works for you. All right. See, guess what, guys? You can actually call me. My number is always on the description of this specific video. I offer those services at a personal level. So if you shoot me a call, I can be able to take you through, be able to listen to you. I take your time to explain yourself. I therefore find that thing can really work for you. Actually, we find that thing that can actually work for you. You cannot just tell me one thing and then I'm just throwing things that I think that can. No. I listen to you. I take you through step by step and tell you this is what you can be able to do. So if you want my premium services, you can always take my number from the description of this specific video, shoot me a call or give me a text on the WhatsApp. It's also my WhatsApp number, and let's have a conversation for just a cup of coffee's price. All right. So don't run away. Right. For now, it's a goodbye. Don't forget. Hey, if it's your first time watching me, I am Joseph. I post a video each and every day talking about investments. And by the way, I have a lot of videos here. You can check them. Okay. Close to 600 videos. Okay. So for now, make sure that you subscribe, turn that notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new good video. By the way, it is free, it doesn't cost you anything. And by the way, it's the only return and favor I would love from you. See you in the next one. Oh, and if you want to buy me a coffee, you can do so. Anyway, see you in the next one. Goodbye.